Hello everyone, I'm back with another speed build. Some of you who watch my channel may have noticed that I kind of took a little break from speed builds. That is because I rediscovered the Sims Castaway Stories on my computer and decided that because I never completely finished my initial playthrough of that game, that it would be fun for me to practice doing a Let's Play with it. And while I was kind of clueless about some of the actual quests in the game, I really did enjoy playing it and I had a lot of fun with that. And now that that is over, I am back to building. So I had a friend of mine who suggested building townhomes, and I might still build some townhomes, but that idea kind of got me thinking that it would be really cute to do like an apartment building. I've been kind of building up the neighborhood of Magnolia Promenade, and I thought that this would fit really well there. So what I did, or the idea that I had, was to take 4 separate studio apartments and put them into one complex. And so you can download the entire complex and play with all 4 of the apartments and have like a multiple family home type deal, or at least single couple Sims. Obviously a studio apartment isn't a good place to have a family unless you renovated the rest of it to actually be like a single family home, which you could completely do. There's nothing stopping you from that. But the idea with this that I had was that I was going to upload the entire apartment, like I said, and then I'm also going to upload each individual apartment. That way, each apartment is priced with a starter budget in mind and with some money left over, because once you place a room from the gallery, you are still going to have to add things like landscaping. And, you know, if you want to extend a porch off of it, things like that, when you download a room, you don't get any of those things. So all of them are priced under $17,000, which gives you just enough to, you know, personalize and tweak things the way that you'd like to. And each apartment also has its own separate theme. I did that as well so that no matter what your taste might be, if you were more of a modern type person or more of a traditional person or somewhere in between, hopefully one of these apartments is for you and your Sims. This first apartment here is done in the industrial kind of decor theme. Industrial and modern are very similar, but at the same time very different. So they have similarities, but yet they both look completely different at the same time. I don't know. You're just going to have to see in the end what I'm talking about, but I thought it was a lot of fun to have one build that featured so many different styles. The only problem that I ran into was that while I was furnishing, I was watching the lot value, so that my goal was to have all of the apartments $15,000 or less, and that did not happen. So I ended up having to go back and adjust and take out some decor in certain apartments, like this one in particular, because when I did it, from looking at the lot value, it should have only cost around $15,000, but when I went to save the room itself, it was telling me that it cost $20,000. So I'm not sure if my math was just very terribly off, that is entirely possible because math is not my favorite subject at all, but I think that it might just be the way the lot value calculates, because I discovered it did that when I made the upstairs apartment as well, which wasn't too much of a big deal. I just really took out, you know, some additional decor that really didn't make that much of a difference in the build itself. I switched out a couple, I think in the bathroom for this one in particular, I replaced the toilet and the bathtub with a cheaper version. But other than that, I mean, everything, all of them have TVs, all of them have everything that you need to cook. Some of them have bookcases, some of them have electronics that you can play with. They all kind of give a different variety of things, and each one of them has their own little private patio, which unfortunately doesn't come with it if you download just the room, but if you download the entire lot, then you get all of it. So here I am trying to move objects and tweak things. That's always fun. I'm trying to think. Now we're starting on the second apartment above the industrial, which I'm doing in the traditional style. So it's more neutral tones and no crazy like decor. Just, you know, what you would see in a typical American home. Not sure about other countries as far as that goes. I know that each country has their own kind of what they consider normal. So I live in America, so that's how, when I say traditional, I mean American traditional. But anyway, each apartment also has its own layout. That way, no matter if you download one or all of them, you get a different vibe with each, not just because of the decor, but also because of the layout being different. And that was fun for me because it gave me a chance to take basically something that was the same shape, but arrange it in different ways, and that was pretty fun. So that was the main point of this build, was I just wanted something that was going to be fun and that I could put in my world to give it more of an urban feel, because I've always loved the city worlds in The Sims. Bridgeport was one of my favorite worlds in The Sims 3. Unfortunately, it lagged like crazy. So hopefully if we get one in The Sims 4, it's going to be much better, and then I can send my Sims to live there, hopefully in an apartment of some sort. That would be nice, because I also really liked The Sims 2 apartment life. I loved being able to build my own apartments, and I also would take and make homes, single family homes, but I would classify them as an apartment so that my Sims could rent it and actually afford to live in something a little bit bigger than they normally would be able to with the starter budgets. So this bedroom, or this apartment in particular, I thought again that I needed, or I had a lot more money to spend, so I started decorating like crazy with different paintings on the walls and a bunch of clutter on the dresser here, which I thought it was kind of cute how the dresser kind of separates the bedroom and the living room from each other, even though they're basically the same room. But in the end, it was wrong, and I had to delete a few of the paintings, but that's okay. No biggie. So here's the outdoor patio for this one, and just a couple chairs and a table, nothing too fancy out here. I believe, yeah, and a little plant potter. So what else? Oh yeah, I always love decorating kitchens, and I wish I had more money to play with because I would have really decked it out, but unfortunately I didn't. And here I was switching out and putting some more decor in the bathroom, which I think I then had to switch again. Now we're on to the third bedroom, or the third apartment, and this is done in a modern style. So this is kind of contrasting with the industrial build. What I did differently here is industrial, while it's a little more, it can be modern, but it's a little more grungy, whereas modern is real clean. That cabinet in the corner there drove me nuts because it's supposed to be white. It's the same swatch as the rest of them, but oh my gosh, it looks too gray. But that could be the lighting too. I'm not sure. Anyway, I did a lot of black and white in this, basically. Probably should have added a couple pops of color. That might have made it a little bit more appealing. But I also was trying to make this one a little more masculine, I think. So that could have been why I steered more towards the black and white monochromatic type thing as well. But I was trying to add a little divider, like a glass wall, but I really didn't like the way it was looking, so I just did away with that. And I did add a little desk, and I was able to afford the slablet, which is kind of like a computer, but with limited functionality. I kind of wish that it had a little bit more functionality, like the one in The Sims 3, from The Sims 3 store did. But again, you know, we could always see some improvement in that later on, which I guess I did add a pop of color on the porch there with the red vase. But anyway, on to the last and final apartment. Whoops, forgot I put some different tiles up there in the kitchen. Anyway, we're on to the last apartment, and this is the rustic kind of boho vintage type apartment. And the reason I saved it for last was because that's sort of my favorite type of decorating style, and since we just got that in the recent stuff pack of the movie hangout stuff, I really wanted to get the other apartments done so that this could be kind of my little fun type. Well, they were all fun, but still, this one was the one that I got to play around with the most, I guess. I did the little clawfoot bathtub in there, and instead of a mirror, because there's one in the entryway, I just put the little medicine cabinet. And I was thinking about the little whimsical bed, but ended up going with this bed, which I really love the covers for this. I hope that we get some new beds soon. I know a lot of other Simmers are saying the same thing, so I'm hoping they're listening to us, because we could really use beds. And I wish they would go back to the way The Sims 2 was, where you could choose the color of the covers and the color of the bed frame separately. That would really be nice as well. But anyway, here I am doing the dining room. I love that little armoire. It's very cute. Some of the colors are pretty crazy with the new stuff, but I honestly really like it. It was kind of weird that they put it in a movie hangout pack, but at the same time, I'm not going to complain because I'm really loving the objects a lot more in this game. I think with The Sims 3, it felt like we didn't start to get some of the really nice objects until later in the series, whereas a lot of the stuff that they're coming out with early on in this game, I'm really liking. Like this couch over here is one of my favorites. I hope we get more couches with that same, you know, like the pillows and stuff, because it makes it feel more lived in and not as generic. But anyway, we're almost done with this apartment, and then we're going to move up to the rooftop where I placed some objects for your Sims to hang out together. So if you have a couple single Sims living in this apartment, or a couple different couples, however you end up working it, they can all throw little parties upstairs with the stuff. But I hope you all enjoyed this build, and I will be back with some more very soon. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bunch of you available again.